Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackie, and I know I've been MIA from this channel for a while, but that is because Amanda and I have just been so busy with our Spooktober videos. If you didn't know, Amanda, Ray, and I have a channel together called Mackie and Amanda where we've been doing 15 videos in the month of October. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is a new haunted video. And it's just been insane. We've been going to the craziest locations and traveling, but I will be posting 3 videos leading up to Halloween. Once October is over, I'm gonna go back to my regular posting schedule, but I've just been putting so much time and energy into our Spooktober event. Anyway, now for today's video. So if you haven't seen already, last week Amanda came over to my house and sensed something buried in the courtyard. And the courtyard area is where all the bad spirits are and just everything crazy has always happened out there. So this was her first time out in the courtyard in the daytime, or pretty much at all. And when she went out there, she got an image of a box buried under this strange pile of bricks. We made a whole series on it on Mackie and Amanda, so go check it out for more details. Once she said that, we knew obviously we had to start digging it up. So we started digging, and basically we've gone to the point where we can't go any further. We need some more tools and a wheelbarrow and stuff, but we've decided to hire a surveyor to come out and scan the land to see where the box is located. So as of now, the pit is still dug out, just sitting there. And I wanted to give you guys an update on what has been happening since we started digging, because there's been a few weird things going on that I don't know if we stirred up or something. So I'll be telling you the story of what happened a couple days ago. Which, speaking of stories, brings me to today's sponsor called Sundance Now. Sundance Now is an ad-free streaming service that's been created by AMC for people who love thrillers, paranormal, murder mysteries, just everything that puts you on edge. Sundance Now is loaded with thousands of binge-worthy shows, and they release new shows every single week from all over the world, and these are shows that you won't find anywhere else. So I love to just crawl in bed at night and put on one of the scary paranormal shows. The one I've been watching is called Dead Places. It's my favorite because it's a paranormal investigator from London, and he moves back to South Africa to investigate the spirits there. And then he starts investigating who or what murdered his sister when they were children. And it's just absolutely crazy. So start streaming your next obsession and try Sundance Now free for 30 days by going to sundancenow.com and use the promo code Mackie. I highly recommend it because I'm into all this spooky dark stuff, and I know a lot of you guys are too, so I think you'll enjoy it as well. Alright, now let's get into my stories. Where do I begin? Ever since we started digging that stuff up in the courtyard, well, from the very beginning when we started digging, I started to feel really sick. My stomach started hurting really bad, and it just wasn't a good situation. I don't know if it was anxiety or if we were hitting something we weren't supposed to hit, or what the deal was, but it was not a good feeling the entire time. I was really on edge for it. Then, since we've stopped digging, there's been a few times where Kaya has been acting really weird past that area. She'll walk past the slider at night and just kind of stop, and her tail slowly lowers down, and she'll just stare at the pit from inside the house, and she'll just act really weird, like how she did in the video when we were digging. So whenever she does that, it really freaks me out in general. But the other night, I was just sitting in the living room, and she did that whole thing. And I was like, Kaya, it's okay, Kaya. Like, please stop doing this. You're scaring me. And she came into the living room where she always growls into that corner. And she acted like she was watching someone standing in the corner. Like on where we have that glass door that looks into the corner of the family room. She was standing there staring out. And at some points, she'd like almost like jump back and back away a little bit. And just knowing her history in there, it just really terrifies me when she does that. So she's been doing that a lot more. But I'm gonna tell you guys about the weirdest thing that has happened. The night that we started digging, Amanda spent the night, and we were sitting out in the living room around midnight after we filmed and everything. We were just talking about normal stuff, and if you didn't know, my little kitty, ghost kitty, the stray that came and found me last year, who became my best friend. Unfortunately, we had to put him down because I guess he was like 16 years old and his kidneys just went into total failure. It happened over like a week span where he lost like 10 pounds and couldn't stand up. It was just honestly like the worst week of my life. But we had to put him down, so it was really, really sad. So anyway, that had happened about a week before we started the dig. Then when Amanda and I were sitting in the living room at midnight, we were just talking, and then all of a sudden she goes, "Oh my gosh, a cat just brushed against my foot." And then she went back to talking. I'm like, wait, what'd the cat look like? She's like, "Oh my god, it's your cat." And I was like, no way, like this isn't happening, this isn't my cat. And I was on the verge of tears. I actually started crying, but she's like, "It's your cat." And so he walked around and jumped up on the couch next to me and then laid on top of the couch next to my head sleeping the rest of the night while we talked, and it was just the best thing in my life. So we were talking about that, and she was telling me how the day after we put him down, when she came over, she was walking up towards the garage and she saw him sitting at the back of my van in the driveway, and she didn't know for sure. Well, she thought it was a real cat. Then she realized, like, no, that's a ghost cat. She wasn't 100% sure if it was mine, so she didn't want to bring it up. And then it happened in the living room and she's like, okay, this is the cat. This is off topic, but I'll just go into this a little bit. So he was talking to her, whatever, and he says he loves the chicken and gravy food. He only likes wet food. He likes to drink the gravy out of it and leaves all the chunks. And when I tell you, this cat would not eat the chunks of the chicken and gravy. He'd just sit there slurping up the gravy. That's all he ever did. So when she said that, I'm like, there's no way she would have possibly known that. But while we were talking about that, we started hearing this noise that was like, wow, wow, wow. The only way we can describe it, Amanda said, it sounded like a human trying to sound like a cat. So we started hearing this loud meowing noise, and we're terrified. It was happening about every 5 seconds, just meow. And it was just going for about 2 minutes. Amanda and I are just frozen in the living room. We're like, what do we do? Like, this is weird. It sounded like it was right outside our glass, right outside the window that looks onto our front yard. We were sitting on the couch right there, then there's the window, then there's the front yard. So we're sitting there frozen for about 2 minutes because we're like, there is either a demon out there or someone who's just going to murder us or something. So we slowly get up finally, and Brendan was asleep in the other room. So we're like, we need to get Brendan, and we were so terrified to stand up and go get him. But we do it, and the whole time just this weird meowing is happening right outside our glass. So we go get him, we wake him up, we're like, Brendan, like something weird is happening, we don't know if this is a person. And he wakes up, and he was sleeping in the family room where Kaya always barks in the corner. And next to that, there's a glass sliding door into my backyard. So I open that, you can full on hear this thing meowing. And we're like, oh my god, and this has been going on for probably 4 minutes by this point, and when Brendan stands up, it stops. And we're like, okay, that was the weirdest, scariest thing we've ever experienced. So we forget about it, we go to sleep. Then a couple days later, Amanda and I went up to LA, and we were there until probably midnight. We come home, and the next day we all get up and start heading to Vegas to film and for my birthday and stuff. So it was me, my mom, brother, dad, and Amanda in the car. And randomly my dad goes, well, me and Brandon had a spook last night. We're like, what do you mean? And he's like, we saw a being. And we're like, what do you mean you saw a being? And this is what he says. It was around 11 o'clock and they're sleeping, and randomly they start hearing this noise that's like meow meow, like a person meowing. And me and Amanda look at each other, we're like, no way. And so he says he listens to it for about 5 minutes. It sounded like it was on the side of the house right here. And so finally my dad gets up and goes out to the gate to see what's going on. He gets to the gate and looks out over it, and you can see across the street over our fence. And he said he saw this kid standing there just staring directly at our house from across the street, making that meowing noise, looking at the front window of our house where Amanda and I were hearing it the first time. And so my dad sees him and he starts opening the gate. He looks down at the gate for a second, unlatches it, opens it, and the kid is completely gone. 100% gone. There's nowhere he could have gone, but he just vanished into thin air. And my dad was freaked out. He said this kid had like huge black hair, and it was just very weird. And my brother gets up and he's like, what's going on? Because he heard it too. The noise had woken him up also. And my dad says to him, I just saw a being. My brother was like, what do you mean? So he told him that, and they were both just like terrified of whatever this was, because my dad's never seen anything like that. So now we're wondering, like, why? Like, what is that? What is that kid thing? We don't know. But those are the craziest things that have happened since we started the dig. I don't know if that is attached to it, but it started the night we started digging, so I don't know. But I definitely wanted to fill you guys in because it's just crazy to me. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on my Halloween videos. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.